Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pro Wrestling World Talks with Dan and Mac.
It's funny how the world turns in professional wrestling. You're listening to PWW Talks. I am your host, Daniel Burke, and I am ever joined by my best friend of over 20 years and the co-host of this program, Mac. Mac, welcome again to the program on what has been an eventful week in the world of professional wrestling. Yes, boo. Boo it is. And it's not Boo Earns either. So they're saying Boo Earns. No, they're not. They're not. It's just Boo. Are you really saying Boo Earns? No. Boo!
I was saying Boo Earns. Oh, bull man.
It's funny how the last couple of months, me and you have been very hard on one Seth Rollins. Rightfully so. And this week, the news, the events on Monday happened, and then, of course, what we have found out the reason on why the events happened on Monday, ending the current iteration of Seth Rollins' main event run, and also putting him in the same category as Ryback, Cesaro, and Curtis Axel as failure at Paul Heyman management levels.
But hold on. I don't put that on Heyman though.
I don't put that on Heyman, and I don't put anything on Heyman because of the fact that they did this with Rollins, and usually when they put you with Paul Heyman, that means that they see tremendous value in you. But the problem is Rollins didn't want to change his presentation, which is what I think overall hurt this.
So hold on. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I don't think he needs Heyman. I think a Bronson Reed and a Braun Breaker need Heyman, and it's perfect to leave that as a thing, which, for those that don't know, we'll talk about it once we kind of talk through everything else, because I don't want to jump the gun, because it bleeds into the conversation of what we're going to talk about with Crown Jewel. But I feel that Seth didn't need him, and he didn't need Seth. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker needed Paul Heyman for sure.
Yes.
And it seems like that will continue, and I'm okay with that. I think the problem is, and I hate to say it this way, but it's absolutely true, WWE, and we've talked about this actually a few times, but not recently, is starting to have an age problem. You have a lot of guys that are on the back nine of their prime or already out of their prime. I would argue that Seth Rollins is 100% in that category.
Yes, he is.
This kind of shows that, because I do think he tweaked his knee in that match with LA Knight where they faked the injury. I just don't think it was serious. But right. He has had leg issues, and now he's going to have a shoulder issue from the looks of it and the optics of it. And I think he needs to think of the longevity of his career and maybe start making that transition to either being a part-timer or being something else, whether that be a commentator or somebody like Triple H,
NXT
Bruce,
fixture, yeah,
or not just that, but somebody running stuff backstage, basically. And I think that's okay. And it's, he has a young daughter. His wife also wrestles. They're on the road a lot. And I think they need to start making those considerations. Plus, his injuries are starting to pile up, I feel like.
This was probably one of the worst self-inflicted kind of career mistakes as far as the main event run is concerned, because of the fact that it happened on a spot that was entirely unnecessary. It wasn't like a spot that was it was a spot that, yes, it had never been done before, but it was also entirely unnecessary. Everybody, with the exception of Harley Race, has ever used the dart. Well, no, actually, I can't say that because Harley Race ended up getting a hernia by using the diving headbutt off the side of off the ring apron, and he landed into a table, and the edge of the table caused a hernia. He did that against Hulk Hogan.
Well, listen,
Dynamite Kid, he used the diving headbutt and he ended up dying, crippled, broke.
listen,
And then
here's
I don't
the
need
thing,
to
though,
have
like look at Benoit, right? Like,
that. He was going to be my next case.
yeah, and I'm sure he was, because like when you think of, especially like CTE, for example, you think of Benoit, but
Don't forget about Bryan Danielson.
Oh, that's Daniel McDanielson.
yeah,
Anybody who's done that move, there's always been a consequence,
But-
and it continues again.
even outside of the diving headbutt, it's a coast to coast. Just do a fucking drop kick.
Exactly.
Just you're gonna land on your back. You might land funny on your side depending on your positioning and Cody's positioning for that move. But that would have made more sense. And listen, what is the easiest bump to take? A back bump.
The absolute safest bump you could possibly take. Instead of just trying to make something look cool to make a match that you're never going to reach.
It didn't
Meltzer-
even look good.
Meltzer is not going to give you a 5-star match regardless.
I mean,
Even
listen,
if you pulled the match off pulled the thing off perfectly.
coast to coast headbutt looks stupid. I'm sorry.
It did. It looked dumb. It looked dumb. And the consequences of the move are dumb.
I mean, listen. Liv Morgan went to the mat exactly how she normally would have, and she hurt herself. It was nobody's fault. It was a freak accident.
Rhea Ripley got bumped into a locker, had to relinquish her title and take time off.
Well, I think it was like a wall, but yeah, same diff, I guess. It's just, these things happen, and if you are going to protect yourself, do a move that is safe. And in this context, a coast-to-coast headbutt, there's a lot of shit that can go wrong. Because maybe you knock heads with Cody and you both get concussions. Maybe you clip Cody's elbow and give yourself a gash or concuss yourself. Versus, okay, I can pinpoint accuracy on a dropkick even if it is coast-to-coast. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And I get it. There are those purists who are like, well, that's what they did. Yeah, that's great. It shouldn't have happened in the first place. It should not have happened. I'm sorry.
Shouldn't have happened.
I'm sorry.
Should not have happened.
Then the injury doesn't happen, and then the unfortunate side effect of that is we get more vision. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't know. But there's so much to unpack there. I think let's just go through some of these matches. I don't think some of these matches are going to, you know, wow anybody. But some of them, I think the whole card was booked correctly for the most part.
It was. I mean, AJ and John Cena was fantastic. I mean, that can't be said enough.
They got the second longest match of the night.
And I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. But it did start, fortunately or unfortunately, which I had a feeling it was, and it did, and it was Big Bronson Reed defeating Roman Reigns in 21 minutes even in an Australian street fight.
Thanks to Jey Uso.
With no stretcher. I was upset. I could have sworn there was going to be a stretcher in this match.
Jey Uso has had a terrible 2025 as far as fucking up good shit. The Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and costing his cousin a big win against Bronson Reed. And also, we could claim that he may have had, even though to be to be quite fair, we blame him for the Red Sox, But the Red Sox also had the weakest roster that they've ever had going to the playoffs.
Yeah, but at least
in
they
my
made the
lifetime.
playoffs because when he
Yeah,
did that, it
exactly.
was before the playoffs.
That's true.
So, I mean, I can't thank him, but I can't exactly blame him for.
I'm afraid to say
lot.
anything good about the Patriots right now. Like,
All right. So I was trying not to talk about this all week.
yeah.
I'm just gonna say this to the people: if you are a Patriots fan and you're posting that we are back and we're number one in the division,
I did. Shut up. But I did.
but no, but you didn't. But you didn't though. You weren't like we're back. It's like I've seen like a bunch of people do it. I'm like, we're 6 games into the season. Shut the fuck up.
After we beat Buffalo, I posted something, but that was after we beat Buffalo.
But that was Buffalo.
That was a huge game morale boost.
Waking up Tuesday morning to be like, oh, we're number one because they lost another game. I was like,
they lost to Atlanta.
It's literally the same record. We're both 4-2. We're only number
tied.
one because we had the tie breaker by beating them. Shut the fuck up. Like I hate the people that like if we were 6 games in and 2-4, everybody would be doom and gloom right now. Because now we're number one in the division, and because we beat Buffalo, everybody's like, "Oh, we're back, we're back." I was like, "We're 6 games in. There are 18 games. Shut the fuck up."
I will say that this year there doesn't seem to be a team because Baltimore's out of it already. Kansas City is still trying to figure shit out. It seems to be a wide open league.
You mean the refs are trying to figure things out?
Yes. It is a wide open league right now as far as games is concerned.
I almost said something to you and a few other people last week on Sunday that it felt like a very weird week in the NFL.
I think it's going to be a very weird year.
Oh, I mean, it already is so far.
Like it has, because it's like you look at what's going on in Baltimore, you look at what's gone on with Kansas City, you look at what's gone on with New York, especially the Giants, for Christ's sake. They got some guy named Dart as their freaking quarterback that everybody's losing their minds over. Big win against Philly last week, don't get me wrong. And Philly's got to figure their stuff out.
Philly too, yeah.
I mean, the Patriots, I'd like them to get A.J. Brown. That's on my wish list.
Yeah.
You get A.J. Brown. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, LA Knight. He knows what we're talking about. Yeah. But yeah, I'm afraid to talk about anything Patriots because the last time we talked anything positive about the Red Sox, I mean, yeah, they did make the playoffs, but
I mean, you said it yourself. They had a weak team.
They did. It was. I felt like it was the weakest roster that the organization had ever put out for a playoff team, which is unfortunate, but that's just how it is. I feel like Bregman's opting out of his contract, so I'm a little concerned there, but hopefully
he didn't do shit anyways the last few weeks of the season, I felt like.
Yeah, but as far as team leadership is concerned, he was really good with that.
That's true. I'll give you that.
Which is something that they desperately lack. They need somebody to just come in there and be able to get the job done. 7-0 Pittsburgh in the second quarter, at the beginning of the second quarter. The touchdown, of course, was thrown by one Aaron Rodgers, who seems to have found the fountain of youth now in Pittsburgh because he looks like he did in Green Bay.
You know what I need to find, as we talked about New York, even though we were talking about the Giants instead of that other 0-17 at this point. I need to find the thing from Toucher and Rich with the guy singing
Jets suck.
Jets suck. I need to find that somewhere. I need to find it. I thought about it all weekend when they had a game won and they blew it in the last 2 minutes.
Nothing will make me laugh harder if they go 0-17. Like
nothing would make me laugh harder either.
Oh, I'll literally just, especially too if the Dolphins finish like 2-15. I'll be like, this is great. I love this.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And now it's like I'm looking at Buffalo and I'm just like, God, I hope they do terrible this year too. Like, it's just, let us come back and have our fun
You know
for a
what?
little while.
You know what it is for me? The Buffalo game was a little bit of an eye opener, and even this past week when they won, it was kind of an eye opener too because they make a lot of stupid mistakes, and they easily should have won this past week by like 2 touchdowns
They should have.
easily, but
You didn't feel like either
they
they were going
called
to lose
2
the
of them
game.
back.
They did.
They called 2 touchdowns back because of stupid penalties. And I'm like, guys, come on, get it together. And listen, he still won the game, and I thought that was great. They were able to really throw the ball, which Drake May looks great because he's accurate and he makes some plays downfield. And I'm just like, I don't know how the fuck he just made that throw.
If you
And-
can try to get Derrick Henry or AJ Brown, I would do it.
I mean, I would take Derrick Henry in a heartbeat.
Just because now it's like you can add tools to this team and make a run now and maybe win a championship.
I trust
this year
Derrick
and
Henry
next
more
year.
than freaking Stevenson at this point.
Oh my God, he is so annoying as a running back.
Listen, he hasn't dropped the ball in a while, but like 2 weeks ago, he
In a
did.
while,
Yeah, a game.
every time he has a spot that
So-
you can't fumble the ball.
So
You're
hold
you
on.
asshole.
So I have a great analogy. I don't know if you remember this, but when the Celtics offloaded Marcus Smart, ourselves and other of our friends, I guess, were talking about it, and I remember having the conversation with you guys that when he went up for a 3 in one of the games in the playoffs, I literally had to hold my breath.
Yes,
Anytime Stevenson has the ball, I have to
I
hold
have
my
to
breath.
hold my breath.
That's it. It's like I can't look at him the same way after the amount of fumbles the guy has given up. I just can't.
It's hard for people in this town to because they always love the folk hero, right? Wes Welker, Marcus Smart. They always love the folk heroes, and they always get mad when they get traded. But then usually when those guys get traded, or like Nomar, they did the same thing with Nomar.
Oh, screw that. I was happy to see him go.
I was like, thank God. And then I'm like, and then literally 3 months later, you win a championship, and it's just like,
Wes
all
Welker
right.
was a little bit different. I felt like than those other two. Marcus Smart had been here for so long. I think that was the reason. Same with Nomar, I guess. Dude, I was glad not to waste 10 minutes of an at bat of fixing gloves. I was glad to see that go. I'm sorry.
in the pitch clock era, that guy would have been fucking just. I'm going to give you a strike if you don't cut this bullshit.
Yeah, they would have. With Wes Welker, I felt it was a little bit different, but you got Edelman to replace him, and it was like, okay, Edelman's an upgrade, so I stopped caring about it as much.
Yeah, but still, as time has gone on, and we keep finding out more things that have happened in North Carolina, we found that some people that we all would say, "Oh, I trust this guy. I trust he knows what he's doing." And then you just look at it. You look at his tracker. You're just like, "This motherfucker held grudges, big time."
Oh,
And because of his spite, cost us wins and championships. So it's
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think that's a proven fact at this point.
it is, and especially too with recent events that's gone on. See, what's funny is I decided because I needed to watch this match again. I love the fact that Cody is like had to hold the ropes a little bit to give himself more, balance himself more, so that way Rollins could hit that move. It's like
Yeah, they like extend
one of
himself
you,
out.
and then he kicks out at 1. Oh my God!
I felt like Cody had to lean into it, and
He
yeah,
did.
then he kicked at 1. And I
And
think
he kicks out at 1. It's
I
like
think the kick out is also Seth being like, "I'm fucking hurt. You have to carry the rest of the match."
yeah, pretty much. It's like I'm fucked.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, let's like I said, let's just go through them. So again, the first match is Bronson Reed, Roman Reigns, 21 minutes, third longest match of the night. This was kind of fun. I liked him throwing the rugby balls at Paul Heyman. I thought that was kind of funny.
It was. I thought it was a very fun match. I did like it too. How Roman was kind of just like, "Don't get involved. Don't get involved." They get involved.
Everybody knew they were going to get involved.
Of course they do. And then
I don't want to see your ass till Christmas.
I don't want to see your ass till Christmas. Nobody thinks I can win shit around here by myself. That made me laugh way too much. But also, it's just like Bronson needed the win. He really did.
Oh, it was 100% booked the right way.
It was.
And I'm not saying that because Bronson Reed was in Australia. I'm saying it because if you were going to legitimize him, he needs a big win over a big town.
You had to do it this way.
100%.
So I was happy with this, even though I like to see my tribal chief get victories. It's like,
my tribal chief,
he can win all he wants. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, listen, I didn't hate it. Did I want Roman to win? Yeah, sure. But at the same token, in terms of legitimizing Bronson Reed, he needed to win.
Of course.
100%. And even legitimizing the stable. Oh, wait, they're not a stable anymore.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I thought this was a fun match. If anything, I was actually surprised that the next match was Tiffany Stratton versus Stephanie Vicaire for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship.
Damn.
That's I don't know how many times I said that during that match. Ron Simmons. I don't. I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
Because again, I'm looking at Wikipedia, which is how I know the times of the matches. Is it me, or does like every Tiffany Stratton match, is it like 10 minutes or less? I feel like it is. They're not long matches.
It's like they're afraid for her. Well, I think she kind of proved it in that triple threat match. They're not.
But so hold on, you say that, right? And I thought that was because of Jade. Because when they had the one-on-one, what was that, SummerSlam? That was also not a very long match.
No.
And I thought that was for Jade's benefit. Now I'm almost starting to feel like it's for Tiffany's benefit. Because there's no Jade Cargill in this match. There was no run-ins in this match.
Nope.
And it was 10 minutes and 5 seconds. It was the shortest match on the card.
And it's like...
And that is your premier women's championship match for the
How was
Crown
the
Jewel.
crossroads off the top rope, not the finish? Sorry.
I don't know. It should have been.
I had to rewatch this match again because I'm like...
That match should have ended multiple times, I felt like.
Yes, but I'm just watching this now and getting angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially, too, if Steph watched this match, too, she'd hate it. She'd be like, enough with the fucking twos.
Probably.
She hates 2 counts. It's hilarious.
The only match I accepted the 2 counts was John Cena and AJ Styles.
Yes. That
should have had multiple 2 counts, but maybe not Crown Jewel Championship.
But Tiffany, I just... there's something there. There's some type of narrative of her where they just don't have faith in her going past 10 minutes. It's almost like she's getting kind of like a Goldberg treatment. Hate to say that, but it's true.
Let's try something here. I don't know how easily I'm going to be able to do this, but I almost want to see how long her matches have been. So all right, so here's one. So Evolution, her against Trish Stratus was...
That was quick.
8 minutes and 30
I think that was like
seconds.
8:40.
8:30.
Well, yeah, I thought it was like under 9 minutes.
All right,
How much was her and Charlotte at WrestleMania?
WrestleMania 41. Really, that was like 15.
Which is short for a Charlotte match.
I'm looking right now. So that's what I think, but I don't know. 19. But
Okay.
but that's probably because it's Charlotte.
It's Charlotte.
Let's see. I
Which is
can't
also
get that one.
surprising how they didn't have how this only went 9 minutes, because considering that Stephanie McCure could also carry a match if she had to. She's proven that.
They might not want her to in that context, though.
That's true.
All right, so this was Elimination Chamber last year, or no, I'm sorry, this year. She had a match with her and Trish against Nia and Candice LeRae. That was 11 minutes and 40 seconds.
Okay.
So, that's. I mean, I get it. It's Chamber, so it's hard, right? That makes sense. I get that, but still, shortest match in that card was that. What was it? SummerSlam was the other one we talked about. SummerSlam 2025.
Yep. Her and Jade.
Yep. Let's see. So that was. I feel like that was short too. Actually, I know it was short too. Let's see. It was night 2, I think. No, where is it? No, it was night 1. I'm sorry. 7 minutes and 5 seconds.
Jesus. Yeah, there's something to that. There is something to that.
Hold on. So that is the shortest match of both nights. 7 minutes 5 seconds. Stephanie Stratton against Jade Cargill.
That's like 20.
I shouldn't say that actually. It was the shortest actual match because Rollins came out end of night 1 and fucked Punk over. That was 10 seconds. But an actual match that was already booked in advance, 8 minutes 10 seconds.
Boy, that aged well, didn't it?
7 minutes. I'm sorry, 7 minutes 5 seconds. The next shortest match was the match before it. Sami Zayn defeating Karrion Kross in 8 minutes and 10 seconds.
Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross.
They gave Karrion Kross 8 minutes. That producer should have been shot.
No, they gave Sammy 8 minutes.
That's true. That's true. Sammy, can you get this down another 10? Sure.
But yeah, I just
dumbest fucking move I've ever seen in my life.
Maybe there is some narrative there that they don't trust.
Sorry, I just saw another replay of the fucking headbutt.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think. Was it Tiffany against Becky when she was still technically in NXT? I'm curious how long that was. 24 minutes, it looks like. It's not like she can't do it. Or maybe that's trusting Becky there. Like,
that's trusting Becky.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just weird. Then don't book her. Then if you don't trust her to go...
Take the title off her.
Yeah, exactly.
Take the title off her then. Like, it's obvious there's a problem there. Because you're not letting her... Like, these match times are what people were doing... Like the Divas era.
I mean, listen, I have to be honest. I do feel that they're still in a weird position with some of the booking. Like, let's do it this way, right? Like, I didn't hate this match. I love this match. I'll say that for what it was. 10 minutes, 5 seconds. It was a great match. I wish it was longer. I think putting... And we talked about this last week, too. That's why I don't think we need to spend that much time on it. I would have been happy whoever won.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it was Stephanie.
I agree. No, I agree 100%.
All right. So, the next match was John Cena versus AJ Styles, as I kind of alluded to already. This match was 27 minutes and 10 seconds. Second longest match of the night. You couldn't take 3 minutes out of this match and give it to Stephanie and Stephanie. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to diminish AJ and John in this match because This is one of
No, of
John's
course
better
not.
matches through his entire retirement run.
This is
Probably the
I
best
feel
one,
like
actually, if I'm being honest.
yes. Other than Cody and him at SummerSlam, I feel like that in my opinion is the toss up.
I think it's this. I think it's
No,
100% this.
I agree with you. I feel like it is this.
Even
But
him and Logan, I thought was better than him and Cody. Honestly,
I thought the rematch was fantastic.
I thought it was good too. Don't get me wrong, but it's just I felt we keep going back to this every time we talk about certain things of being a fan or being a consumer. Ever since he said that, and this match made you feel like a fan again. And I
It
hate
did.
saying that about a John Cena match, by the way. I feel fucking disgusting by saying that.
I know.
But
I know. I hate myself too.
it's the truth. It is 100% the truth for this match. This match, I felt like a fan again. It was
It was a
fun to
love
watch.
letter to wrestling.
It really was.
That's what I loved about it. It was like they took something from every opponent that they ever had, except the sweet chin music, because I'm sure AJ really wanted to. That's probably AJ's white whale. Like that's AJ's white whale. He never got Sean. Like that's the one he's probably wanted, and that he's also got some other feats that the last match with the Undertaker. A lot of things that cannot be taken away from that everybody, including myself, thought 15 years ago that AJ Styles would have never been like the last opponent of the Undertaker. Have this great feud with John Cena. I always hoped for the Shawn Michaels match, but at the same time, it never happened. But who knows? The Saudi money could get so large. Hey, I got an idea. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't see that happening at this point.
No, I don't either.
And for what it's worth, like, I get why people would want it. What I truthfully would want at this point, not Sean, but I would love them to get Samoa Joe back for AJ's last run.
I mean, that'd be nice, but Samoa Joe already said earlier this week that he is prepared that once his contract with AEW is up, that this is probably going to be it for him as well. A lot of these guys are going to be.
If that's the case, I mean, you could maybe get him for a one night deal. Just saying. I think he would do it for AJ. I honestly do.
It depends, really.
It does, absolutely.
Especially with the Andrade situation becoming a little bit more contested than originally what was kind of put out there.
I think that it's hilarious, by the way.
I think it is too. It is also a interesting situation where he's now could possibly be out for a year.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Allegedly. Allegedly. I mean,
allegedly.
I mean, listen. I'm not just saying that for Andrade, by the way. How do you not know that though? How do you not know what your contract is, or if you're instead the signer of this talent, what their contract was and what the stipulations of their contract were, released or not? Like I that boggles my mind. You're working
this is a new
with a
entity.
Talent it doesn't matter.
No, I know that, but like this isn't the same old song and dance that you guys are used to. Like it's no longer Vince. It's more of a structured. This
that's my point.
I know. I feel like that these guys are getting kind of no other company is probably doing this. It's like go.
No,
I bet
you gotta go. If you are signing a talent with contracts, you need to know what those contracts are, because it's the same in every fucking sport.
This is probably a conversation that may or may not have happened. Dana. Yeah, it's Hunter. So how do you deal with your talent in UFC, knee? Like, oh, really? Oh, year contract. Oh, no compete. They can't do anything for a year. Oh, yeah. Tony, no, you can't use them. Cease and desist. Cease and desist. Knee. That I feel like is probably what was said in Titan Towers in a phone call between Dana White and Papa H. That
Hold on, I got something for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't divulge information about that customer's secret illegal account. Oh, crap. I shouldn't have said it was a customer. Oh, crap. I shouldn't have said it was a secret. Oh, crap. I certainly shouldn't have said it was illegal.
illegal account.
It's too hot today.
That's when you start talking like that, and I know you're trying to do your Hunter impression, but literally when you start talking like that, and we're talking about a contract, that is the scene that I thought of.
Oh crap! I shouldn't have said illegal account.
Oh crap! I shouldn't have said he was a customer. That's what I thought of, and it's so true because that was reported this week that they have started to restructure their contracts to have a no compete for a year. So if that's what they're doing, I'm going to say it both ways here because I think that's the most impactful and probably the most truthful and honest way to say it. Did Andrade not know that? And if he did he not disclose that to AEW? And did AEW just not do any due diligence, or did they think it wouldn't be a big deal? Like, it boggles my mind that you don't have lawyers, whether it be for Andrade, whether it be for AEW, or both, that did not review that contract that he had made with WWE/TKO in the context of, okay, when can you be on television again? And just throw him on TV when he can't be on TV for another year, basically, at this point. That's crazy to me.
It is insane. It doesn't make any sense. But they did it, and they have to deal with the consequences from that, whatever may come from that.
Well, what's Shane McMahon's song? Here Comes the Money?
Here comes the money!
That's what's going to happen.
Money, 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 money! Ugh.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Roster, folks. On the internal roster for TKO WWE right now, Shane McMahon. So we could be hearing that. Here comes the money! Ugh. God.
Why do you torture me, Shil?
How about this tag team match coming? This Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus Damn Warriors. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, I said that too. For that match, Ron Simmons, you're right. I agree.
Damn.
Okay. So, knowing what we know now, that Raw was going to be at 8 a.m., which to me is funny, and I kind of told you during pre-show I called out, not because of Raw, because I just felt like crap.
All right.
So it worked out for me. I could just veg out in bed and watch
Lay
Raw.
in bed and watch wrestling.
Yeah, so that worked for me. And, you know, my stomach did not agree with that plan, but I didn't care. I still made it plan because it couldn't work. It was that bad. So when I watched Raw, the opening, and they talk about how Kairi Sane is going to have a match against Rhea Ripley, I'm like, you literally just fucking did this 2 days ago. That was my reaction. I was like, you just fucking did this. Why are we doing this again? It added nothing of value to their feud.
It really didn't.
And
It was almost just like an exhibition.
If you were going to add anything to this, it should be Kairi Sane. I'm sorry, not Kairi Sane. I love Kairi Sane. It should be Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus Sol Ruka and Zarya to be number one contenders for the women's tag team titles. That's where they should go. And that's not what they did. Instead, we got a one-off match with Kyrie and Rhea. For what? For what?
Exactly.
And listen, I love Kyrie. I love all the women in this match. I'll say it that way. I don't really care for Asuka's new character, but I don't care. She's still phenomenal talent. Loved everybody in this match. I thought the match itself was also very good. I didn't need Rhea Ripley versus Kyrie on Monday morning. I just didn't need it.
No.
It was stupid. This should be over at this point. This should be. The only reason to continue this is to continue this for War Games, and even that I felt was unnecessary.
They gotta have they have to have Io Sky in War Games. She's Mrs. War Games.
I get that, but here's part of my problem.
They need the trash can off the top of the goddamn cage spot this year, Mac.
Hold on a second. If you lead into what other women are doing, I definitely don't need Maxine Dupree in War Games. I just
good lord.
I could do with AJ and on Io and Rhea's team. I could do with Becky on the Kabuki Warriors team. I'm fine with that. But I don't need to include Maxine Dupree. And listen, I'm okay even putting that Intercontinental Championship on Maxine Dupree. I'm fine with that. She showed up the last couple of weeks, and that match she had with Becky a couple weeks ago was actually really good.
I would really more to Becky than I would Maxine Dupree, but
yeah, I mean, listen, I'm just I don't want them to do what they've done the last couple of years with the women talent and just throw women into this.
I agree.
And here's going to be part of my problem too. and I feel the writing is on the wall for this. It's going to piss me off. I definitely don't need Judgment Day with the Kabuki Warriors, and I definitely don't need Lyra and Bailey with Io and Rhea. I just don't. I don't need any of that. Again. Yeah, I don't. I don't. It just, I get it, but I don't need it. Like, that's the problem. And listen, like, when we talk about War Games that's coming up, I don't even think they know what they're going to do with the men at this point anymore either.
Well, this whole situation with Rollins is really kind of taking a grenade to this whole thing. Yeah. Because,
I could see a potential backup plan, but it sucks.
They had to speed everything up because their plan for next year has now been blown up by the whole situation. So it does create. We might as well get to the Cody Seth match, even though we've kind of alluded to the situation. It was a great match, except for the fact of that there was no stakes involved, and the
I
injury.
I don't want to say there's no stakes, but I get why you say it.
Especially now, there's no stakes because there was really no talk of it now.
Yeah.
Now the focus is on. The problem with it now is that Rollins won, and it's like, so he's the champion of champions, and then he literally has to relinquish it or lose the title at some, like, his next offense or something. Which the now new number one contender, which is supposed to be happening at the next Saturday night's main event, I believe November 1st, is CM Punk. So that leaves the question, is CM Punk automatically going to be champion? Are they just going to put another contender in there? Is that going to be Brock Lesnar? Like, there's so many questions that I think that I have and the rest of the public do. A part of me wants CM Punk to actually become the actual visionary and join this group and be under the guidance of Paul Heyman and also be guidance for Braun Breaker.
No, they're not going to turn him heel at this point.
I mean, I'd like it, But
I wouldn't
and
hate it, but I'm just saying they're not going to do it.
probably not.
Here's what I would say. You have 2 Raws before Saturday Night Main Event if it is on November 1st. Do 4 matches this Monday and do 2 maybe just 1 match actually on the Raw after, and just do a tournament bracket.
Right.
And whoever wins faces CM Punk for the vacated title. And I get it. It's gonna piss people off if Seth just vacates. But what else are you gonna fucking do? He's gonna have like this the headlines accordingly are he's gonna have surgery. So he's gonna be out for months. Don't keep the title on him. Just don't.
No.
Have him vacate it. Say he's taking time off. However the fuck you want to do it. I don't really give a shit. But I feel like since news is news, everybody knows he's fucking hurt
They're
now.
saying he's going to miss Mania.
Oh yeah, absolutely, he's gonna miss Mania at this point. Because it's what, 6 months out.
So you might see him at SummerSlam
That's what I was thinking. Probably SummerSlam. So vacate it.
if he decides he wants to come back.
Let's just
Because as we talked about at the beginning of the program, he is at a stage of his career where this doesn't have to be his top priority. And he really this really shouldn't be his top priority. He's got other things he could fall back on. And the fact is that you also have to look at this and yourself in the mirror, and you have to say, thank God that you have a downside guarantee, because you just cost yourself a shit ton of money.
well. So hold on a second. So let's look at it from this perspective, just very, very quickly. He's 39 and he's injury prone.
Yes.
This isn't like Cody, who's had 1 major injury his entire career.
Yes.
Cody can probably go for a few more years.
Yes.
Seth probably could after rehabbing the injury and stuff. But let's be real. People that injure themselves, and I don't want to say consistently, but let's just say enough, are more prone to re-injure. Yes, Cody tore his pec. Yes, he could re-tear it. But when you hurt yourself a lot, again, you are more prone to hurt yourself again in the same area. Cody's conditioning clearly is very good. And again, 1 major injury in a career that it's arguably longer than Seth's, I would argue, is a very good track record. Seth has injured himself more. And, ACL, MCL stuff, a lot of people re-injure their ACL when they injure it one time. It's a little known fact, just saying.
Won in a WrestleMania last year with a torn MCL.
That you're making my point for me. Exactly.
Tore his ACL and MCL in 2015, was out for close to a year.
Yep. And listen, this isn't that, at least. Right? So that might be beneficial for him. But when's the next injury going to come? That's got to be something in the back of his head. And at 39, he'll be 40 next year. It arguably should be.
I think the problem that I have with this, that there's a lot, and like I said, there's a lot of people on here that have heard me for months go on back and forth and read certain articles on Pro Wrestling World when I decided to write, that I have been extremely negative and extremely, I would say, combative towards the Seth Rollins' push. And, I've really kind of said how I felt and saying that, yes, I do feel like in the last 10 years, as far as the main event talent is concerned, I've seen a lot better.
I've also seen a lot worse, though, too.
I've seen a lot worse, but I've also seen a lot better. And so is the mainstream audience. It's not just me. Every time you have tried to make Seth Rollins your focal point, you have had some of your most boring and uncompelling years. You did it in 2015, nobody cared. You did it in 2019, people hated your product. And you did it now, and really everybody was complaining about it because he didn't want to change. Like, here's how bad WWE creative has been this year. Two of the major
Hold on a
heel
second.
turns that they had were failures.
But that's what I was gonna say, right? Not so much that they were failures, but they didn't make sense because you did it in a way that was like I can't even think of the word right now. It just wasn't good because you did it with Seth Rollins and now you're doing it with Jey Uso, where you're not doing anything to change the character. You're just making them fucking whiny. Because he was whining about the whole Roman Reigns thing and the whole CM Punk thing. And then he turned into a heel because of it. And now you're doing the exact same thing with Jay. You're making him whiny about the whole Roman thing and about LA Knight and now about Punk and probably about his brother too. And it's like, why? Like everything that you are taking that people like about these guys, you're taking it and you're just throwing it in the mud. And then instead of picking it up and washing it off, you're just dragging it along to more mud. It's like you didn't do that with Cody. You could have multiple times during Cody's run, right before he became champion and then as champion. You could have done the same thing with him, but you didn't. So why are you doing it with this talent that is over as whatever they are? Because you're not pushing any new narratives. Like, you're just not. And like, the only person I feel on there, there's a few, but the one that really sticks out to me lately is the people that can get away with it are your guys like CM Punk, your guys like LA Knight, that they can have some kind of heel tactics, but overall they're face. Right? They're very good at that. And that, to me, is something that they could look at. Like, they even do it with Cody sometimes. It's rare, but there are times that they have Cody do a heel tactic, but he's still over as a face.
Randy Orton, same thing. Roman
Randy,
Reigns,
same thing. Yeah, yep, absolutely. And it's like, they're mostly face, but you can do like a heel thing here and there, and it'll be fun, whatever. But when it starts to be like this whiny ass heel, it just gets mundane. And they're doing it with Jay. It's just like he just gets bitchy. Like that's the best way. He gets bitchy about it. It's like, dude, this version of your character sucks. It doesn't work. What else you got? And I feel like their creatives lately, and it was funny, like somebody said this to me today about something else, but it's like they just keep it kicking the can down the road. That's how it feels. Doesn't feel like they're building towards much right now, which kind of sucks because you got a month and a half or so till War Games. It's like we're just gonna keep kicking the can. It's like I said about Rhea Ripley and Kairi Sane in a match on Monday Night Raw, or Monday Morning Raw, really, I guess, where it's like, you literally just did this 2 days ago in a tag team match. Why do I need this again right now? I don't. So, okay, it's going to build towards War Games, but why does it have to be like this? Why aren't they building something else to run adjacent to this? This could have waited like a week where, okay, now we'll have Kyrie and Rhea fight, and then maybe something during that match will happen outside of Io and Asuka. Maybe, Bayley and Roxanne Perez are fighting and it spills out to the front, and then that's how they force that in. That would have been better to hold for a week instead of doing it this week with zero payoff, because none of what I just said happened. It just it's dumb. And you could do the same thing as I kind of alluded to earlier with Bailey and Lyra Valkyria against Roxanne Perez and then Raquel, which you had that tag match. Bailey looked great, by the way. Love that new outfit. Just throwing that out there. Damn! I think everybody probably said the same thing when they saw it. And then, like 20, 30 minutes later, you have them both come out and say shit to Stephanie McCare. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on half the time. And sometimes that can make it fun. Don't get me wrong. But then there are other times it's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? I'm okay with Roxanne Perez and Stephanie McCare. I'm just gonna say that now. I'm okay with that match. And I thought it was hilarious that Stephanie had to look down at her and get in her face and like practically bend over to do it. But I think both are talented, and now that you've kind of solidified Stephanie a little bit more, you could do a match like that. And it will be fun. And you could, I don't know how close Liv is, but apparently she's been working towards recovery, obviously. Maybe you throw her into the mix. I don't know. But it's a weird place to be with their creative at times. It just is. And the potential of Seth Rollins' injury does not help them in this scenario either.
It does not. As far as depth perception and as far as like main event talent, yeah. As far as long-term veteran main event talent, yeah, absolutely, it does hurt. I do think, however, this is almost a blessing for in disguise for
I
many
100%
reasons.
agree. 100%.
Because of the fact that I think his star power was kind of fatiguing a little bit, at least with the mainstream wrestling audience. I don't think that this heel turn has really worked out as well as he thought it was going to. I think that the Paul Heyman kind of reunion, again, we've talked about it. It just didn't click. It just didn't work. And that happens. You can try. It just wasn't
felt
working.
bad. I
did.
Because it's
you
like going into
did.
Mania last year or
earlier this year, it's like, okay, out of all the three guys, I don't want you to win the most. I did not.
Right.
But I was okay with everything he had done up into Mania. And when he turned heel, I'm like, why? Why?
Right.
Okay, you're the heel against Roman, and I can see that. You're the heel against CM Punk, and I can see that. I can feel that. But like, you don't need to be heel after that. You're just heel for that match. That's it. And for that was fine. You don't need to turn heel on a consistent basis. You don't need to bring in other guys. You just don't. What the fuck are you doing? And it's like, I felt bad because he did have decent momentum throughout the year when he helped Cody win and everything else that he had done up to that point after that as well. And I think they wanted to give him a fresh coat of paint, but holy shit, pick a better color next time.
I know. It just did not click.
No.
It just did not click at all from the beginning. It was just an off pairing from the very start. Fate has kind of intervened. I'm sure there's some people that will be like, and I'm not gloating over this whatsoever. I hate to see somebody get hurt. I hate to see somebody get injured. But my problem is I really don't have a lot of sympathy because the spot never should have been done. It was a dumb spot to do.
It really was.
I understand I understand that you want to entertain the audience. You want to make things memorable. If that was supposed to be memorable, it would have been the finish. But it wasn't.
I'm going to say it again. If you're going to do a coast to coast, it should be a drop kick.
Just be a drop kick. Just do it like Van Dam did. I know you're trying to be innovative, but when you got to have your guy stick himself out even more so that way you can make the spot, you don't do the fucking spot. You just don't. You do something else. And again, you're probably only going to get a 3.5 star from Meltzer. You might get a 4 with this now.
You know what? And you said this earlier too, and I do want to repeat it. It was a good match.
It was.
I
got kind of ridiculous with some of the kickouts, but yeah, it was a good match.
But I mean, it was a good match either way. And listen, I'll say that about the whole card. Even 10 minutes to Stephanie and Tiffany, which whatever. Like I disagree with the amount of time they got, but even that, all 5 matches on the card were good, all of them. It was a good card. It was a fun show to watch. I walked away from this happy. It wasn't a waste of time. Is that what you said?
It wasn't a waste of time.
Okay, I was like, shit. I didn't think.
No, I was being nice and saying it wasn't a waste of time.
It wasn't. It wasn't. I thought it was a good show.
It was.
Out of all the duds they've had this year, this was a good show.
Yes.
So I walked out of this happy. I couldn't complain. Listen, I was a little upset they didn't add a match. Just all things considered, maybe a pre-show match, but I'm glad they didn't because I was surprised I was awake in the first place. But I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I thought this was a good show. I didn't think some of the spots were necessary. And especially when it came to this match, that was the case. And, you know what? Again, I'm not going to take anything away from Seth. He is still talented. And he was able to prove that. But I also looked at it from perspective of like, why are we doing some of the stuff that we're doing in this match? I'm sorry. And you said this earlier too. You're kicking out of a crossroads off the top rope. You're kicking out of a stomp if you're Cody. Some of this stuff shouldn't happen. A single crossroads, regular crossroads, fine. Kicking out of a disaster kick or a Cody cutter, fine. Those things I can accept. But when you're taking moves off the top rope that are normally a finisher, and you're doing it off the top rope, like when they did the whole match at SummerSlam and they kicked out of the AA off the top rope, I'm like, really? Really? Like, what are we doing? I get it. You want to put on a match and maybe you want to do certain moves, but those should be your ends. Not your, I'm going to get another 2 count here.
The flying headbutt has a bad track record. So
we already alluded to that earlier.
I've told you earlier in the program, folks, that it just has a bad track record, and it's almost like a cursed move with guys' careers. But this one, again, it's like this was completely unnecessary.
I'll give you one.
That is something I wouldn't even do in 2K.
I'll give you one more in the headbutt, and this is I want to point it out more than it's like a detriment, but Rhea also does a headbutt. Drew also does a headbutt. Glasgow Kiss and all that.
Kevin Owens
does it too sometimes, you're right. If you look at where they're placing their heads, it's a standing headbutt, and they can do it safely because of where they're placing their head. It's no head-to-head contact, and usually they're going right off the pack.
Yes.
Because they're hitting the fleshy part of you. So it's not going to hurt them as much or you as much. And that's what needs to get looked at. And let's be real. A lot of the times they're probably not even connecting.
No.
You have a move like this that is from very far away and you're airborne. What if Cody moved for a second to readjust himself? What if he fucking falls short and lands on Cody's head? Like I said before, there is so big of a margin of error when it comes to a flying headbutt. This is why people stopped doing it. Because of all the fucking CTE studies that have been done since people that we've talked about earlier. You just don't fucking do that move. Plus, you're putting yourself in a very prone position, and that's how Seth got hurt. Because when you're flying through the air, you only have so much time before you hit ground, and depending on how you hit the ground, and this is exactly what I said about Liv Morgan earlier, depending on how you hit that ground, you still might end up hurting something else anyways. Shit happens. So now we're in a position where I guess we just kind of segue into what happened on Monday, where everybody had at this point seen that on social media that he was walking around with his arm in a sling. And apparently he probably had a brace on because he had that jacket on all night.
Yep.
And I think we all knew a turn was coming at some point, but they pushed it ahead, full steam ahead, because he's probably hurt, which has been well documented at this point. And they decide to have both Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker turn on him. And Paul Heyman, I guess, too.
And Paul Heyman. Paul is one for the streets.
I would say he's one for the street, but he's like, my contract isn't up yet. I want to still be on TV, so I guess I'll do it.
177 days was there, the union between Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins will join the likes of Curtis Axel, Ryback, and Cesaro as failed projects under Paul Heyman in WWE.
I wouldn't say it's failed, though. It's just they have to kill it.
They have to kill it, but also too, it never worked. It just never.
But in
worked.
the aspect of whether it's success or failure, I get why you're saying it didn't work. I get why you would say it's a failure. But my point is that we won't really know. For us, it's a failure, is what I'm trying to say. For them, I don't think they're going to view it that way. I just don't.
I don't think they will view it that way because for some reason they have always seen something in Seth Rollins. And yeah, there's a good portion of the wrestling audience that likes Seth Rollins. But there's also another portion of the audience that every time he came on their screen, they turned out. They said, or tuned out for that matter.
So let's backtrack for a second, just real quick. When he was, I find it hard to call him a heel, even when he was facing Cody when Cody first came back. But on paper, he was the heel. From that up through WrestleMania when Cody won, I'm not going to say I was all in on Seth Rollins, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what he was doing with his character. I enjoyed his World Heavyweight Championship run. Not this one, but that first one in like 2023.
Right.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed all of that. And I enjoyed him even through the whole CM Punk returning. All of that.
But he was never really the focal point.
But yeah. Even as World Heavyweight Champion, he wasn't the focal point.
Exactly.
And listen, I'm fine with that too. And once after WrestleMania, when he went with Heyman, I'm like, I'm probably done with this. And I think it was like, what, a couple weeks maybe until he got the Braun and Bronson thing?
Yes.
I think once that started, I was like, yeah, I'm done. It was different. And like I said, he got whiny, and that for me is like, no, I can't do it. And I want to make a quick comparison here. We talk about whiny because I didn't talk about it yet. And maybe this is somebody that goes back to Raw. Drew McIntyre to me is not whiny.
No.
Because he makes it fucking hilarious. And yes, I knew that, like, Clash in the Castle a couple years ago, yeah, that was starting to get whiny. Not the one in Wales, but the one in Scotland that they did. By the time they got to the one in Wales, I was like, yeah, okay, you gotta stop. But then when they kind of amped up his adrenaline a little bit and stopped making him whiny, but started making him
In
more of
his
an
soul,
asshole.
something, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, I got you. But when they got him off the whole Roman thing, it became fun. Made him an asshole, made him go on social media and post. Are you watching it again or something?
What?
Are you watching it again or something? Or
No,
what are you
no,
watching
no.
now?
I'm just trying to be funny.
I don't know. I stopped with Seth at least 6 months ago, if not more. Before that, I think from 2022 to 2025, early 2025 this year, basically, I was fine with him. Before that, I really wasn't watching enough. But you've told me well enough about 2019, so it's like,
Oh, it was bad. They had him beat Brock twice. Still couldn't get him
yeah.
over.
See, no,
That was the
all right.
famous
So hold
Fiend
on.
year.
Like this is the thing for me, right? Like when Cody did it, the first time it should have went through. Should have
Yes.
been, and that I agreed with. The third match, I don't know. First match, him winning barely. The second match, Brock beating the crap out of him. I agreed with both of those. Third match was hit or miss for me, but you don't beat him twice like that back to back. You just don't do that.
It wasn't back to back because he
Okay, I
lost the
was gonna
title
say.
to him at Money in the Bank. Well, he lost because that was the year Brock won the Money in the Bank, which
Oh well, whatever. Then.
created Brock in the Bank, which was hilarious. But which pretty much Brock just treated the briefcase like a jukebox.
Oh, I've
It
seen that. That
was
was hilarious.
it was hilarious. And so it did create like that meme. So from that
I've seen it.
perspective,
Yeah.
like it's fantastic. And then of course, Brock cashes in. So it's Rollins and him at SummerSlam. And the SummerSlam match was very good. But again, it's just, and this was also around the same time that they decided, well, we're going to put him and Becky together as like, he's going to be the man's man, which that hurts you. That overall hurts you. That almost puts us like, so you're going to be Mark Marrow this whole time. But I'm your fucking Universal Champion. Yeah, it's fine. And that was that was his booking in 2019. And this year, it's like you did the heel turn, and it was a failure. It just was. I know everyone's going to sit there and romanticize about it and be like, and I saw people talking about how like, oh, he elevated Bronson and Braun. No, he didn't.
But he didn't. That is such an issue for me when that gets said because he really didn't.
He didn't.
Bronson Reed elevated himself by doing some of the shit that he did with. Oh my god, I can't even remember his name right now.
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman, thank you, and also in War Games too, by the way.
Yes.
And you could have brought him back as a massive babyface because of his injury and because of those matches that he had before he got hurt. And I would have enjoyed that more than this. And arguably, that's what he should have done. Or you can have him come back as a massive heel, and yeah, you achieved that by having him join the Vision and tsunamiing the crap out of Roman and others. But he didn't need the stable to do that.
He didn't.
With Braun Breaker, he already solidified himself as an Intercontinental Champion, as NXT Champion, and I know people that don't watch NXT, okay, fine, but you still had him solidify himself in the Intercontinental Championship. When he lost that, you should have elevated him to arguably challenge Gunther, who, by the way, still has not been on TV in a long time.
That's true, even though, from what I'm hearing, they have big plans for him.
As they should.
Yes.
As they should. And honestly, you could have him feud a guy like Braun Breaker. You could also have him feud a guy like Bronson Reed, too. Just saying, because the guy can work with anybody. It's in a really weird place with WWE Creative. And I've said this previously, they are very top heavy with talent. And that is not helping a lot of some of them get booked on a consistent basis right now. Yeah, what is she doing?
She's dancing.
Oh.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad it still looked like I was dancing.
You were dancing.
Vast amount of marijuana.
Yes, it's marijuana. Yes.
I know. Feel like
What's the
everybody should
matter?
know that.
You good? Someone's having fun.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yo.
Oh, God.
Yo.
She's using the yo now. Here we go.
Yo. And Joe. Hello, yo.
Hooray!
You guys.
Hooray.
Yo. Ruined it. I'm leaving.
I mean, what the fuck is that?
Billy would be mad.
Hooray!
How dare she? How dare she? How dare she? Yeah.
Because I'm not booked.
Hooray. Yeah.
But yeah,
that's funny.
I think they're top heavy. I think that like when's the last time you saw El Grande Americano? Like 2-3 weeks at this point? When they had a tag team match? Like it's
AEW a few weeks ago? Yeah, I thought he's a part of the Don Callis family.
No. El Grande Americano. Not Andrade.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Silly me.
Yeah. It's hard to get them all straight, I guess.
Takashita is now the new IWGP champion. He defeated Zack Sabre Jr. this week.
I did see that. That was awesome.
So Takashita is now a member of the AEW roster and the IWGP heavyweight champion. So
I think it's going to be hilarious if WWE buys him out.
So what do we do here? What do we do here now?
They're all fired.
You're all fired. It's gonna be me booking. Get me Okada.
I don't think they need it, but it would be good to get a foothold in Japan.
It would, but I also think now that they're able to have, because what's funny is that every other company in New Japan, every other company in Japan right now is doing really good business except New Japan.
I mean,
like all Japan's doing okay.
You don't
Stardom's
sign
doing okay.
People, just saying.
Well, that and it's just they ended up getting bought out by this kind of corporation out there, so they're not doing the checks and balances like they used to. But also too,
which cracks me up because they have Stardom too. Like not for
they
nothing.
do, and that's doing okay. That's doing good business. But then you have New Japan, and it's just like they're not doing. I don't even know like any top stars that they have other than Zack Sabre Jr., who I always feel like they're probably going to have to overpay.
Oh, they're going to have to keep them. Yeah, absolutely.
but he's not the business driver that he was. And then plus on top of that, you have you just have now all this competition. You've been gutted by AEW, and I don't care what anybody says, any narrative pusher out there that wants to sit here and be like, no, they've helped New Japan. Where's Okada?
Tell me how.
Where's Ospreay?
I mean, even outside of that, but like, tell me how, right? Like, listen, you literally just said it. Takashita is IWGP champion. He works for AEW. What other AEW talent have you seen over there? I don't know. Say a year. Just throwing that number out there. How many memorable matches can you name in the last year in New Japan Pro Wrestling that involved AEW talent?
Not a damn thing.
You're making the argument for me, exactly. Takashita, and that's it. That's it, because they don't go there. Like, this... I know there are people out there, wrestling fans of TNA, NXT, or WWE, that do not care, perhaps, for this whole, TNA versus NXT thing. And I get it. But it is benefiting both brands.
It is.
And yeah, I know there are those purists out there that don't want NXT champions in TNA or TNA champions in NXT and
vice versa, whatever.
Exactly. And I get it. But again, it helps both brands.
It does.
And it helps Matt Cardona too, apparently, because, indie god. But
well, he's always ready.
It's hilarious he was on NXT, I thought, this week. And he still lost, by the way, which I thought was even more funny. I thought that was even more funny to me, that he lost. I mean, listen, like, I can't hate on it. I just can't. And now...
He doesn't give a shit. He's like, probably lives 5 minutes from the building.
No, I don't know where they live, actually.
I think they live in Orlando.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I know he's from Long Island. I know she's from Canada. That's all I know. I didn't know where they actually lived. Would make sense, though. But you're also seeing AAA talent come in and do things now with NXT and TNA because they're all on that show, or they're all there in the building, whatever you want to call it. And it's like, that shit's awesome. Like, I'm sorry, I know there are people out there that don't like it. I love it because it brings you something new.
Right.
And yeah, maybe it's all the same at the end of the day, but again, it gives you something different to watch. And this is why I love when they have NXT talent on Raw or SmackDown, because it gives you something new.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, give Sol Ruka and Zarya all the fucking titles. I don't care. They are going to be the future of your women's division anyways. It's the same with Tiffany and Stephanie Vicaire. It's the same with Julia. I can make the argument for a lot of women talent that is up and coming or already existing, because everybody says it, ourselves included, that Io Sky, pound for pound, is probably the best wrestler on the planet. It's
true.
It is. And this is why when I asked the question, which, again, I'll ask it again, it's mostly rhetorical. How many times could you say that about any of the collaboration that New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW has done? Or Ring of Honor, for that matter.
It has not been good.
No.
The results have not been good. Ever since AEW has existed, New Japan was completely gutted. They were planning a U.S. expansion in 2019.
I remember that.
That pretty much was guaranteed. They created a U.S. championship. They were going to try to make a run in the United States because they saw an opening. Tony Khan did too. Tony Khan was able to secure Turner. The second he was able to get Turner, the second that things were going to change on the U.S. level. But New Japan really was going to push. They sold out Madison Square Garden on the combined show with Ring of Honor during WrestleMania weekend in 2019. But
I mean, they got
that was
Mercedes to
still
go there too, for Christ's sake.
that was on the backs of they still had Omega, they still had the Bucks, they still had Hangman, they still had Cody.
That's true.
January 1st, they lost all those guys. Well, they didn't know they lost Omega until like a month later, but then they realized they lost Omega. And now all those guys, 4 of them are in AEW and have been world champion or world tag team champions on multiple occasions. And then you have Cody, who's been WWE champion multiple occasions and also 2-time Royal Rumble winner.
King of the Ring.
Yes, King of the Ring.
Like a lot of accolades.
Champion of champion, the Crown Jewel champion. Like all these accolades, Pro Wrestling Illustrated Wrestler of the Year twice. I think one time voted, and then he was PWI 500 twice, number 1. So he's had this sensational career outside of New Japan. But again, New Japan coming into 2019 had all those guys under contract and then lost them all in one night. And also lost their entire U.S. expansion.
I mean, they still had other talent, though. I think they still could have made the run. It just would have been more difficult. And even taking that out of the equation, whether it be any of those 5, but just in general, I think it would have been difficult to then compete with WWE, which at the time, yes, was in its decline, but also now AEW.
That would have, and New Japan was still Ring of Honor was still a thing. That was still owned by Sinclair in 2019.
So was
as well.
Impact.
So there were
they
other.
Still could have had it.
Yeah, there were still other promotions still kicking around that were still viable.
I don't know if I'd say viable.
But WWE,
maybe, but not,
we're making a ton of money, but our product completely sucks.
That's what I'm saying. They were in decline.
But now it's like WWE's done better. AEW is kind of
Well, I think it's man. I think it's like peaks and valleys. I do. I think that AEW when it first started was at a peak, and then they've tapered off significantly. I think WWE kind of had a resurgence.
died on a vine, so to speak.
Died on the vine.
Petered out.
Petered out for sure. Yeah, petered out. There you go. Definitely petered out. I just think that for WWE, the peaks and valleys is definitely more accurate. I think
yes,
they peaked in 2022. They've stayed at a peak since, but I think this year they've hit some valleys. I think this show specifically, I feel like, even if you take the Rollins thing out of the equation, was definitely a peak. This was one of their better shows this year, which is good. I mean, it's a champion and champion matches for 2 of them, so I mean, it should be good. And it was a good show all around, like I said. But the creative is just this year specifically has been very inconsistent, and it gives me pause for concern for the future. Especially now with the whole Rollins thing and not knowing how that might go. I'm just gonna say it this way: either bring Gunther back, or bring Brock over to Raw. Those are the only 2 options I feel like. I'm okay with giving Punk the belt, but that was in the context of Seth Rollins still being champion. Now that he's not, I'm okay with Punk being champion. I really am, but I feel like you need a monster after Seth Rollins.
You need somebody. I think that's
I just think you need a monster, honestly.
Everybody needs somebody.
That too.
Sometime.
Exactly.
That too.
Don't get us demonetized. Good night. On that note,
Beetle looks mad in that picture that she sent.
doesn't
by the
he?
way.
Yeah, he loves his boxes now.
Fuck you!
It's
Stay away from my
hilarious.
box, bitch.
Picture.
Yeah, we're talking about this picture. He is very handsome.
He is, but he looks mad.
He looks mad in the box. It's funny is I had to clean up our living room at one point. Looked like a disaster because he likes to dig in the box. So there was just cardboard all around
crap all over.
Oh God, it was terrible. I'm like, you're a little jerk. And he just looks at me. He just goes burp and then runs away. The joy of having
Let's
cats.
see how fast I can do this, so we can show the people what I'm talking about.
Oh, let's see.
See how fast I can do it.
Yes, let's see how upset my cat is. Like, see how
That is Beetlejuice,
grumpy.
everybody.
That is grumpy. He is grumpy.
He
there.
looks mad in that picture, man.
He is grumpy.
He looks mad. Like, stay the fuck away from me in my box.
Get away from my box. Get away from it.
Oh man, that's funny.
He's my little buddy. He's a funny little guy. Well, it's just one of those weird personalities where it's like he came from a hoarder house, so it's like you're taking a risk.
So
you
that's
don't know
probably
if it's
what
gonna
it was, though. So
yes,
he probably had a box and was
Yes.
like to everybody else, including the other cats,
I love this box.
Stay the fuck away from me and my box.
Yes.
Probably why he has that attitude, or at least the look of it, anyways. Because he's definitely a sweetheart. He's
yes,
very
he is.
sweet cat. So to see him looking mad is actually kind of funny to me.
Yes. He the fact that he looks mad like in this picture is hilarious because it's like he's a very docile, very sweet cat. But then you just see him with this like aggressive look on his face of just like, get the fuck away from me.
Bitch.
Exactly. The Okada look.
That's
He
what
just
we'll start calling it that, the Okada look.
The Okada look. I'm just waiting for him all of a sudden to just hit me with a goddamn Rainmaker. Rainmaker! And my head's in the third row.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else we want to discuss tonight?
Nope.
I think we are good.
Yeah, I think I don't think there's much else to say. Like I said, it was a good show.
It was a good show.
It wasn't bad. I didn't like the Raw follow up, but I mean, you know,
The Raw. I mean, we did kind of get our wish in a shitty way. We got our wish because the Seth Rollins experiment is over.
Listen, I don't mean it just that way though. I mean like Lyra and Bailey, which like I said about Bailey's outfit, holy crap.
Very lazy.
Yeah.
Not the outfit, but it's
not
very
the outfit,
lazy.
but the match against Judgment Day felt lazy. Not the match itself. The match was good, but it didn't do anything for me. And then you have Roxanne and Raquel come out and say stuff to Stephanie. It's like, why? You're probably going to be in War Games anyways. So why are you doing this?
Where do we put Bailey on the future ex-wife scale?
Oh, I mean, with that outfit, definitely a 10 out of 10.
Damn.
I just
12 of 10. 12 of 10.
Yeah. Somebody on social media was cracking a joke about jiggle physics, and I was just like, just stop. Just stop. But that felt lazy. Like the whole thing felt lazy because then they come out against Stephanie and stuff, and I'm like, why? Like you're gonna be in War Games probably anyways. I said it earlier. Rhea against Kyrie, great match, but just why? You just did this, and the whole Seth Rollins thing. All right. So I'm sorry. I shouldn't even say it that way. Not giving this man the number one contender spot.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense to me. I get it. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, I get it. But you literally have done this for over a month before you had the crown jewel segue. I don't need to go back to this. I don't right now. It should be Punk against Jay for a number one contender spot down the road, and then drop the belt to LA Knight. And hey, listen, maybe you do LA Knight versus CM Punk for the vacated title. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it gives them a way to shake things up. But I felt like doing it this way was dumb. Just vacate the fucking title. If you want to have Bronson and Braun Breaker attack him for vacating the title, that's fine. I would rather that at that point.
Right.
Doing it this way made no fucking sense. And if you know he's legitimately hurt, and this is a conversation you and I had with two other people, if you know he's hurt in the match, why the fuck are you letting him win?
I know.
Play into the injury. Have him lose. He does not need the win against Cody, especially if he's legitimately hurt.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't need the win right now. That can still come later. It doesn't need to be right now in the context of his injury. I'm not saying, don't finish the match. Still finish the match, but, again, don't have him win. And then on Monday, explain, I couldn't beat Cody, but the reason is I'm hurt. And I'm going to be out for a little bit, so I'm going to vacate the title. And listen, yeah, he doesn't walk out a heel then. Yes, you could still have him get attacked by Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker because you literally did the same thing with him and Cody. Cody was hurt. He still fucking attacked him. They still had the match. He still attacked him even after the match. After Hell in the Cell, he still attacked him. And then Cody goes out. It didn't matter. It was unnecessary, but it helped drive a future story. And I'm fine with that. You could have done the same here. Instead, you got fucking lazy, so now what are you going to do next week? That's going to become the question. And it's exactly like I said to you earlier. They just keep kicking the can down the road.
It's true.
I'm kind of sick of it. Buy a new fucking soda and throw that one out. I don't know how the fuck you're going to do that at this point, though. And I don't know who the fucking... Like this happened with Naomi, right? Naomi got pregnant, and I'm not knocking that. Congratulations again to her and Big Jim, even though we're months down the road now. Still, congrats. Great. That's awesome. But then you iced fucking Stephanie McCare because of it. You didn't have any kind of backup plan. And you literally just gave it to Io. There was no build-up, no nothing. It's like, what do we do? You ice Stephanie, you take her out of her match at Clash in Paris, and then you book it for WrestlePalooza, which another month plus down the road. Oh, well, who am I going to face? I don't know. It'll be a former champion, though. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're going to face Io Sky. She's a former champion, so she can do it. What? No build, no context, nothing. Just you were a former champion, Io. So here you go. You could face like what? Made no fucking sense. I don't want that for this. And if that's what they do here, I'm just gonna throw my fucking hands up in the air and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Do a fucking battle royal. Do a bracket for a week, like I said, and then have the match the week prior, and then Punk comes out and whatever. Yeah, it's not much of a build, but at the same token, it's better than attacking Seth Rollins when everybody goes on the fucking internet, reads the dirt sheets, and can fucking clearly see that he is injured.
Right.
It's like I get it, kayfabe and all that shit, but dude, when all the stars have social media and go on podcasts, and some of them have their own podcasts and do God knows what else, it's gonna get out there pretty quick. I think we need to maybe suspend disbelief a little bit more. Like, the whole, and I know Grace is not doing this probably because she's still out on injury, but the whole, love triangle with Dom and Rhea and Liv. Meanwhile, everybody fucking knows Dom's married.
Yep.
It's not either one of them, and everybody knows Rhea's married, and it's definitely not to Dom. It's like, all right, do we need this now? You can get away with this with like, AJ and Punk. You can get away with it with Becky and Seth, and you can get away with it, which I know she's not there, with CJ Perry, Lana, with Rusev, and a few others, obviously, that are together, like Ludwig Kaiser and Tiffany Stratton. You can get away with that kind of stuff. You could even get away with it with Edge and Lita and Matt Hardy, I guess, too, if you really want to go down that past route. Do we really need love stories in the WWE or wrestling in general anymore? Not really.
I don't know if we do.
Yeah. We don't need that shit anymore.
I have a cat in my lap staring at me.
I had a feeling that you did, yeah.
Why? How do you know?
Because I saw you look down in a weird way, and I saw you shift your body a little bit, so...
Yes,
I had a
she's
feeling.
staring at me.
Why? You don't even have anything.
I know, exactly. She just walks in with her attitude and is just like, hi, pay attention. It's like, probably because she's just
trying
like,
to tell you something too.
weren't you signing off?
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say. Yeah, I think she's trying to tell you something. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do next. That's
absolutely
TLDR. It'll be interesting to see what they do next. But this show was good. At the very
it was
least.
a good show. I think that AEW has a pay-per-view this weekend, so that'll be interesting to kind of check out.
Guess what? I'm not watching this weekend.
Oh,
shit! Did I say that out loud? Whoops.
Come on. We need to, be a united front here. Of course, I'm going to check some of the action out this weekend on that.
Bullshit.
Come on. All right.
Boo ran.
But I hope everybody
Cocaine's
enjoyed
a hell
your
of a drug,
weekend.
Sorry.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. I hope everybody enjoyed the long weekend, this past weekend, but I hope everybody enjoys the upcoming weekend. And check out AEW's Wrestle Dream and also SmackDown tomorrow. We'll also figure out this Rollins stuff, so we'll all bring that to you next week here on the program. Or who knows? It might be another one of my bonus episodes of Collectibles. I don't know.
Jesus Christ. 12 fucking... No, I looked it up real quick, and it's 12 fucking matches again.
Oh, good Lord.
Holy crap.
Good Lord.
Let me just rattle these off real quick before we go. Then we can say we previewed it. So it looks like there's 4 pre-show matches. I'll go through those first. FTR versus Jet Speed. Eddie Kingston and Hook versus To Be Announced. What the fuck?
Okay.
Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale versus Divine Vanity, which apparently is Megan Bain and Penelope Ford. That is a weird fucking name. Roderick Strong and the Conglomeration, which is Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Tomohiro Ishii against the Death Riders, Claudio Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia, and Pac. Why is Daniel Garcia still in this group? He's not even in the group, for Christ's sake. That's the pre-show matches, and I'm just going order to Wikipedia here, so I apologize if this isn't the placement of the matches. We do this all the time, though. Apparently, Darby Allin and Jon Moxley will face off in an I Quit match. Heyman Adam Page is facing Samoa Joe for the AEW World Championship. Chris Statlander versus Timeless Tony Storm for the AEW World Championship. Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks. Apparently, the winners receive $500,000 cash because apparently the Young Bucks are broke. So apparently that needs to be. That's okay.
Apparently, that's the rumor.
Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe for the AEW TNT Championship. Brodito versus Okada and Takashita of the Don Callis family for the AEW World Tag Team Champions. Jamie Hayter versus Thekla. And the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP versus The Demand, Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona.
Didn't they just have that match?
Yeah, that's half this card. I feel like we just had this match.
Except Samoa Joe and Hangman.
I mean, they've fought before, I feel like. But not for the title, probably.
Probably not.
Just Express versus Young Bucks. We've seen that in the past. I don't need this again.
We have
I don't give a shit about their song anymore.
different stakes.
Unnecessary.
I agree.
Fletcher and Briscoe, like, come on.
Briscoe actually should be challenging Hangman, to be quite honest.
That's part of why I'm saying come on. Because, first of all, and you and I have talked about this, God knows many times. Daniel Garcia and Kyle Fletcher, I still don't know which one's which.
No,
I just fucking don't. And Mark Briscoe was facing off for the championship previously. So
yes.
Why is he now facing for the mid-card? And listen, I know WWE does it too, but as I mentioned earlier, WWE is very top-heavy.
That's true. Is she making a move? I hope she's making a move.
Yep, she's trying to do something. Okada and Takashita, I think, is going to be a fun team to watch.
You know you're on camera, right?
Brodito.
You know that?
It's only her ass. And I can't even really tell it's her ass, honestly, but I can because I know it's her, but right now it literally just looks like a fucking shadow anyways. Oh, now I see the head a little bit. I see an ear.
Shadow Cat.
It's just the way that the lighting on the camera hits. Like I can see her ear though now. That's about it. And literally,
both my cats have made appearances on the program tonight.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I was happy I got the picture in as quickly as I did.
And there she goes, laying down now.
I can still see the ear a little bit. Eddie Kingston and Hook is a weird fucking team. There she is.
It's a weird tag team.
And they don't even know who they're facing. It's just weird. It's a weird card. FTR was just like,
smile, you son of a bitch.
She's like, fuck you. It literally looks like she's giving you a side eye, which was funny. FTR was just in a high profile match with basically Edge and Christian, if you really want to say it that, with Cope and Christian Cage. But
and Christian.
Now they're on the pre-show. It's just Samoa Joe has been on the pre-show the last 3 pay-per-views, I feel like. But
and now he's in the main event.
Now he's in the main event. Yeah, it's weird. It's just weird. And Chris Statlander in time with Tony Storm, I mean, this shouldn't be happening. Not yet. Not yet. I'm sorry, it just shouldn't. You've not solidified Chris Statlander as champion enough to face Timeless Tony Storm.
So what is she? So Timeless Tony Storm wins, and then it's just like, so what does that do to Chris Statlander? Oh, I wanted a fluke. Pretty much all that does.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying it shouldn't happen right now.
No, it shouldn't.
Oh, and congratulations, I guess, too, to Mercedes Moné, who's won her 10th title. Just come on, and she's not booked.
Ultimo May.
Because I'm not booked.
Oh, that was the wrong button, but I guess that's it.
That's it.
I'm kidding.
Well, I guess we should give everybody a proper send off, anyways.
Yeah.
We tried to wrap out now for the last half hour, and just
because I'm not booked.
Going. So,
I forgot we even had that show coming up for AEW. So I mean,
that's true.
We did have to give them a couple minutes at least.
We did. So I hope everybody enjoys Wrestle Dream. I hope everybody enjoyed watching Crown Jewel as well, or at least hearing us ramble about the review of it and talk about the Seth Rollins injury, which It opens a lot of things and a lot of possibilities up in what has been a real stagnant WWE creative lately, as Mac and I have been going on about it for a while. Not only just as this program, but if you've listened to us consistently, it has been a consistent topic on this program. So on behalf of Mac and myself, thank you again for listening, and we will see you all again right back here next week. Good night, everybody.
Damn.